Episode 1 of the 37807 podcast. My name is Patrick. Junior at Austin Peay State University. I'm a marketing major. Walter State alumni. Union County High School alumni, as well as a Lushville Elementary School alumni. Michael or Zach, please introduce yourself.
Go ahead, there's that.
To our live audience.
Zach Summers, aspiring singer-songwriter. I've got a song currently on Spotify, Sleepless Nights.
Go watch it today.
My name is Michael. I did not go to college like Patrick did. I went to a trade school, and I am a diesel technician now.
Alright. Out of all the podcasts today, come on, production manager. So I did some quick research before episode 1, and it came to me that there's between 3.5 and 4.5 million podcasts in the podcast industry today, and it would be easy to ask yourself why start a podcast in the climate today, and I feel like it's, from like a marketing perspective, you want to sell the viewer on why they should watch us. And I'm just going to be straight up with anybody that may find themselves watching us for whatever reason. The reason that I'm starting a podcast is for future employment. One thing we're learning in marketing class is build a personal brand. So what better way to build a personal brand than a podcast entitled From the Zip Code of Where You Live? So yeah, why do you want to start a podcast?
I mean, I'm hoping long term it'll help me with my music. The main goal at the end of the day is to become a musician, singer, and I'm hoping to push that forward in the right direction.
I kind of just got drugged along into this, asked to do this, but one thing I really hope we do get out of this is that we lead someone in the right direction towards the Lord.
And that's like the one of the founding ideas. I got these. I don't want to take claim for this idea or anything, and we'll get into that, but we constructed this idea on the basis of maybe we might do a better work for God, and that's like Michael said, at the end of the day, that's our goal. So we'll get into how we actually met each other. Michael Motorcycle here. One day in Lushville Elementary School, kindergarten class, nobody had friends at the start of the year because, we're all new to the school system. I didn't go to pre-K. I was too smart for pre-K is what I've always been told. But I was sitting at lunch and I wasn't really talking or anything, and Michael said, "You ain't talking much." I remember those words to this day, and then since that day I've kind of given him a hard time. When he ain't talking much, I'll tell him, "You ain't talking much." And we've been best friends ever since. I'm literally closer than a brother to Michael Bergner. And Zach here, I've heard of Zach in high school, in middle school. I heard of Zach Summers, the legend of Zach Summers. Junior year specifically, I'll touch on this briefly, but, I was in Mr. Collins' class, and we didn't do anything in that class, to be honest with you. And at the end of the year, there was always a talent show. You may remember the talent show.
I do remember the talent show.
I know you remember the talent show.
Remember what?
Production manager.
I know where you're going.
I remember the talent show.
And, just to put it honest, there were some okay acts in that talent show. Nothing to call home about, nothing to write mama about. But there was a dude get up there and play Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley, and I said, "That's Zach Summers." And to tell you the grit that he had on the women of Union County High School, it's really, really something. So you can hit on that if you want to.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I remember getting up on stage. They gave me, I'll put it honest, Colin said, "I think you'll win. You get all the time you need." So I did 4 songs.
4 songs.
Yep. And it helped me a lot with the stage presence.
And hitting off that, going into senior year, in Union County, if you did anything academically well, you pretty much senior year, you just had to show up. So I find myself in the latter part of senior year, whether to graduate early and just fish every day and figure out my college plans. That was my original plan. But I said, well, I'll just stay because Joni Brock had the idea of helping Mr. Edwards, shout out Mr. Edwards if you're watching this, in the greenhouse. She said it was an internship. I haven't seen a dime of the money. I'm just kidding. We were never going to get paid. But we talked. Zach was in that class, and I don't know exactly why he was in that class. He may have had the same opportunities we did. But we, developed a friendship, and he's one of my best friends to this day through that internship. And if this podcast goes anywhere, I'm sure we'll hit on the experiences of Matthew Edwards and the great times that we had in that greenhouse. So yeah, that's how I met these two guys.
Bouncing off that, I was in that class from Fugit's class. Shout out Fugit. I finished his class, welding, some of the most fun I've done in school, and then they were going to put me straight into the field for welding, but I didn't want to do that, so they put me into the internship. And then Patrick came walking in and he said, "You just go to the greenhouse." I followed him in. Rest is history.
Shout out Kendra Thomas. Shout out Michael K. They were in there as well. Fire away, pal.
About how I met you?
How you met us.
Okay, so mine and your story is identical. Because,
let's hear from your perspective, though.
I think one day that we was all sitting at the table talking, and I looked over, and I don't think you had said a word all year. Maybe a hi or how you doing.
Yeah.
But that is all you said, and that's when I just decided to say, what was it I said? You ain't talking much.
You ain't talking much, word for word.
And
in kindergarten.
Yeah, in kindergarten.
You don't see that in kindergartners today. I mean that. Kindergartners don't really have, and I'm not a father. Maybe one day. But you don't really see kindergartners talking to each other much, from what I've heard from my aunt. She's a principal. You go ahead.
But Zach, I think I met you in, I think it was 7th grade art class or something like that. And we didn't never really talk much until later in high school when you started hanging out with Patrick a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then that's when I really got to know you a little bit better. I mean, really, that's about it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mine and your story of how we grew up together. That's the exact same. But yeah, Zach, I think it was 7th or 8th grade art class.
I think it was. I remember English. I think it was for, senior year. I think. Remember being in there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
With Reed's mom?
Yeah, with Reed's mom.
Yeah.
Shout out Reed Melton. Shout out Jennifer Melton. I think you might need to talk louder too.
Do I need to talk more? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll see if I can speed up some. I don't know why I can't get this out of my head. You said a minute ago about Zach and the talent show. The only thing I can think about was I think it was 8th grade year. We had a talent show.
And
I'm not gonna say
we won't name drop his name. He thought he was the songbird of our generation for just because I think it was him and 2 other people, and he just happened to sing a song.
Mm-hmm.
And he won the talent show ultimately, but that's a story for
It was the song he sung that I think won him.
Good as You?
Yeah.
Kane Brown?
It
Yeah,
was.
Kane Brown.
Yes.
Good as You. I'm not
See,
going to shout out Kane Brown.
I'll do a quick story on that. 8th grade was when I got into music, and I was going to sign up for the talent show, and they said, "Sorry, we're full." So they missed out. I'll say that.
They missed out on.
That's on you, whoever ran the talent show in 8th grade year. I know who it is, but I ain't going to say it because me and Eli Brantley, shout out Eli Brantley, we had to help in that talent show, and I know who ran it. But all right, so with this episode coming out probably next week, I mean we're here at the middle to the latter part of November. I mean we can talk about deer hunting, we can talk about fishing is still lively for a while. We could talk about the Vols, go Vols. We could talk about Thanksgiving, memorable Thanksgiving memories. That's a good one. So yeah.
I'd like to start off with the Thanksgiving memories. Us being a week from Thanksgiving. When we was planning this out, there was one particular Thanksgiving that I had in mind. I'm almost certain it was a Thanksgiving. This has been many years ago, but my two cousins, I had a little play set outside. I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and it had 2 swings on it. And I walk outside, and they were probably 17, 18 years old, and they were both swinging at the same time, back and forth, the same motion. I could see the timber that held them swings up drop like that. And I turned around to walk back inside, and it sounded like what I can only describe as lightning striking the house. I look over, and that timber is flat on the ground. They broke that swing set right in half. That's just the one I remember.
Why didn't you say anything to him?
I was in shock.
Hey, you're about to break the swing. Get off the swing.
I was 5 years old. You think I knew any better to tell them to get off my
You should have,
swing set?
Michael.
I think you should have.
Well, even if I should, they wouldn't have listened.
Why not?
I was 5.
At 5 years old, you told me I have it right here. You ain't talking much.
Okay, well,
You were an advanced
Sorry.
5-year-old.
He was an advanced 5-year-old.
I wasn't in any advanced classes, I can tell you that right now.
It's a story for another day. I'll hit off. You know, I don't necessarily remember if this was Thanksgiving, but we used to go to my Mama Meek's house. She passed away recently, but for whatever reason, some cousins from Ohio happened to venture down for this experience. And I don't even remember the guy's name. I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to be wrong.
Go ahead.
But
This is a wild story.
we were young. I would say none of us, like Blake, shout out Blake Meek, you won't watch this, but I think you might have been 14, maybe 13 at the time. So I had to be, what? A pretty young kid, probably 7. And this kid from Ohio happened to just annoy us pretty much all day because, like, the big thing at going to Mama Meek's was we would play outside or in my Uncle Roger's basement. We would just go down there and hang out or play outside, play baseball. Majority of the time it was baseball or wiffle ball. And this particular kid happened to make us mad pretty much throughout the whole entire event. And let's just say that one thing led to another, and I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but a tennis ball ended up in this kid's face at a pretty rapid pace, and it busted his nose open. And that is I don't know why that came to mind. It just did. I don't even know if it was Thanksgiving related. To me, Thanksgiving is an overrated holiday. We'll get into that another time. But that's my most memorable memory.
Zach?
So, thinking of Thanksgiving, my family's like really close, so a lot could come to mind, but I have one in particular. So, back when I was like really little, I don't know how old I was. It was elementary school age, definitely. But we were watching the Thanksgiving Bowl, and we had the bright idea to go play full on like football in the front yard.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty fun time. The whole family out there just playing football, passing it around, just having a good old time.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. We can hit on a lot of stuff from now. I don't know. You want to talk about elementary school memories?
Yeah, let's hit on that.
I mean,
I got some stories of elementary school.
we got a few stories from elementary school. I didn't even write any of them down just because they're so key in my mind. But I feel like before that, I feel like you got to stress the importance of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this podcast is loosely based on the Hayden Alabama podcast. Shout out Hayden Alabama podcast. And they tell stories. They're a lot older than we are, but they tell stories, and I feel like it's, I don't know, very important that you keep those memories alive, So yeah, we can start at the let me paint you a picture. Lutcher Elementary School, 2014, I'm going to say. And, you know, it was at the latter part of the year. We were taking tests, you know, TCATs is what we referred to them as back in that time. And we were on a bathroom break, and we were lined up on the bathroom, like the school wall near the bathroom. And me and, I won't say his name, I'll just say DM for initials. We were standing there, and I don't know why I was next to him at the time, because I never really considered him a friend of mine, but we were together at that point in time. And I happened to notice he was standing on the wall at a weird angle. And for whatever reason, you know, my mom does not like the story. You know, she does not claim this from her only child, but I swept his legs out from underneath him. And let me just try. It kind of sounded like this. His head hitting the brick wall. Next thing, and there was no blood. I feel like he kind of, you know, he was kind of a soft kid anyways, but he kind of cried a little too much, and next one thing led to another, and I was here I am at the end of the year sitting out of recess while all my friends are playing. And you know, me and Zach have talked about this. It felt like 4 months, but in all reality it was only like 2 days, you know, sitting out of recess, and here I am watching everybody play, and it was the worst thing that ever happened in my life up to that point.
Going off what you said with DM, dude, I know you know where I'm going with this story because I've told it 1,000 times. But we were all on the playground one day, and I don't know what was happening, but all of us were chasing after this kid. I don't know if it was just a big game of tag or what we were doing.
I'm going to say he said something slick, and nobody took too kindly to it.
Well,
that's my guess.
We our playground at recess had some a ladder on it, and it wasn't like, you know, an actual ladder where it's flat steps. These were bars that you just climbed up. Well, he was trying to climb up the playground, and he got to the top step, had both hands on it, and about that time, I'm not going to say who it was, but he grabbed his feet and pulled them out. And this kid was holding on to the top bar. His feet were level with his head. And about the time where he couldn't hold on anymore, I watched his head bounce off every step of the ladder. It was painful to watch, but hilarious afterwards.
Yeah.
He's a good old boy, though.
No, he wasn't. He really wasn't.
What was that even called? The thing that were throwing the pea gravel in?
You don't have to tell the story if you really don't want to.
I do. Well,
you know, there was a game, you know, it had like a big, like a bucket looking thing, and it had a hole here, a hole here, and a hole here, and a hole here.
I don't know what that's called.
I don't either, but the main point of the game is to throw a ball. And, you know, growing up in Luttrell, I grew up pretty blessed, you know, in a household, but, you know, I'm just taking along with all these other kids that are throwing rocks in the...
Hold up. Wait a second. We started this together as a group effort. You weren't taking.
Who was this? Who all was in this group?
Well, it was just me and you at first, and then maybe a couple other kids come along, throwing. Pea gravel, little bitty gravel, just tossing it up there, watching it fall back out. We get done with that. We run along about our day, enjoy the rest of our recess. And about that 5 minutes before it ended, the teachers come out in the playground and said, anyone who was throwing rocks...
You left a pretty volatile part out of that.
What did I leave?
I won't say his name, but KM happened to throw a bigger rock than everybody else. And it happened to
I'm getting to that. They come out and said, anyone who was throwing rocks, come with me. You're going to the office. And they said, we've got you on camera, so don't try to hide. At the time, me being... How do you think it was? Like 8?
8 or 9.
8 or 9.
I think
I was
third
a
or
pretty
fourth grade.
gullible kid. I really believe they was watching me throw pea gravel on camera.
And keep in mind, if you've ever been on the Luttrell Elementary School playground, there's a big part of it that's just woods and rocks and stuff, and that it's closer to that side than it was the actual playground equipment.
Yeah.
So go ahead,
But,
so I can defend myself.
So I got up. I thought, well, I'm caught. And I looked at Patrick. I said, hey, let's go. And he says, I'm not going. I said, okay, you get in trouble then. So I walk on. Well, long story short, I ended up getting in trouble, having to sit out the rest of the year at recess. But the reason that we all got in trouble besides him was because some other kid, I don't remember who it was, but I remember the kid who got hit,
I'll write his name down. See if it.
took a rock,
Left a scar on
slate, like I mean it was a flat rock about yay big, and he threw it up in this basket and about to. Okay.
Definitely him.
You sure it was him?
I know it was. Anything
Okay.
that happened was his fault.
Anyway, happened to throw a big rock up in this thing. And another kid, who I'm also not going to name, was walking by right as this happened. I know who this one is.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Zach.
Okay. And right as he was walking by, this rock came down and cracked him on the top of the head. I remember looking outside as they're sitting there shooting us out. And the ambulance is carrying this kid out on the stretcher. Because this kid got a concussion from that rock.
Yeah,
And
he
so-
did, but
The rest of the school year, we're all sitting out there on our little sidewalk watching all the other kids play. Well, the only other kid we really cared about was Patrick, and he just come over and sat with us for the rest of the time.
I mean, I didn't have any friends to play with. But, and I'm not going to call them idiots, but there's no way they could have had us on camera at the angle that we were at because they had playground equipment in front of the school, like between us and the school.
At 8 years old, I was a pretty gullible kid, though.
I mean, I can't help but go back to the fact that you said you're not talking much to me at the age of 5.
You know?
And Zach, you
So
said,
where did it fall? Like your wits from the age of 5 to the age of 8.
I never
Where'd it go
planned
wrong?
to increase my knowledge.
I hear you.
well, yeah, that was.
That was
I have
a good
another
time.
one, but you go ahead and tell one so I can really form it in my mind.
All right, so I went to a different school. Yeah.
You went to Manorville.
Manorville Elementary. Shout out. There's this kid. He was running around. He was being an idiot. I'll say that. I'll put that lightly. He was running around chasing everyone, tackling everyone down.
Do we know this kid?
Yeah, know him pretty good.
Okay.
I'll say this. In high school, he was known as the gum dealer.
Ah,
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
do. All right.
All right. So, me and my friends, we were there just like, I think we were playing kickball at the time.
Oh, that guy?
And he was running around chasing everyone. And I took my jacket off and threw the jacket at him. Like, whipped it as hard as I could. I didn't know that the zipper end was going to hit him in the head. But the second that hits him right here, I just see a waterfall of blood just going down his face. Now, I feel bad about it now, but it was a pretty wild time.
That's a good story. Go ahead. Sorry, buddy.
And so he ran up to the teacher crying. He was like, oh. And she goes, did you do this? And I went, nope. Walked away.
That's a good answer. You want me to go ahead with this one?
You go ahead and tell that one.
Alright. 2 new people. Not saying their name. This was probably, I'm going to say 4th grade. We were all out on the playground again. And we had this one kid. He was obsessed with wanting to be a cop one day.
And you'll know, if you're watching this, you'll know who you are. I hope.
It's a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty good dude.
And but he thought that he was going to play cops and robbers one day. The only problem with playing cops and robbers is he didn't tell him that he was supposed to be the robber. He just walked up and tried to put him in handcuffs. About the time he grabbed his arm and went to swing it behind him, this other kid comes up with a right hook and busts him right in the jaw. And he sat there like for a solid 30 seconds, stunned. Didn't make a facial expression. And then he just started bawling his eyes out.
And I don't think that kid got in trouble.
No, he didn't.
And shout out to the kid that got punched because I don't even think he told on him.
No, I don't. If he did, the teachers didn't do anything about it, and that would be uncommon for Luttrell.
Yeah.
So, props to you for not stitching. That was good.
All right, I'll tell one more, then we'll move on. I don't think we have that much battery life left. How are we looking production?
Dude,
It was just a mouse running across. What the crap?
I saw that.
Did you see?
He was hiding. I think he was hiding out in that crate.
Well,
I saw him.
In that propane.
I'll have to get the mouse traps out. Part of it in Union County. But, you know, again, it seems like most of the memories happen on the playground for whatever reason. And that's crazy, Tommy, that a mouse would run across the floor. Because we were out there one day just messing around. It was like, again, it was at the end of the year. And after TCAPs. And I'm pretty sure these guys can vouch for me. After TCAPs, you didn't do anything.
No.
Movies, pizza days, anything. So we were out there playing, and these kids happened to find a squirrel that was laying on the ground alive. Didn't run away. And you may never even heard about this.
I don't think I have.
This one girl, I won't say her name, just because we don't want to. The reason we ain't saying their names, I mean, they may not view these stories the same way that we do. They may not think they're funny. I guarantee you they don't. Such as the last guy.
He definitely don't think it's funny.
And but she went up to pet said squirrel, and the squirrel bit her. And there was like 3 weeks of school left, roughly. With like the last week was like a half week, and she got bit, and a week goes by and she ain't been back to school. And finally, I said, "Whatever happened to her?" To the teacher. I think it might have been 4th grade again. And they said she got rabies from the squirrel.
Oh my gosh!
So
Dang.
I've never heard about this.
she got rabies and she missed school, and I didn't see her till high school.
Who was it?
She actually got in a fight in high school as well.
Nice. What year?
I think our senior year. Remember her?
Oh, I do remember her. Do you?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
11%. All right, we better roll. We got 11%.
Okay. Well, I got a good transition into animal stories here since you was talking about the squirrel. Okay. Well, what do you want to do?
What do you think we should do? Production.
Move on.
Move
All right,
on.
we'll move on.
All right, scripture time. We're gonna try and hurry up. What do you think we should remove our hats? I've been debating
Yeah.
that.
I agree.
I don't want my hair to look terrible. But hey,
Hey, that's all right.
part of it.
Integrity.
Academic integrity. All right, you go ahead, Zach. Zach is bringing the thought that we want to debate.
Yep. I've been thinking about this a lot since he put it on me to bring the first Bible verse. It's a pretty big deal for me. I had a lot in mind. Probably like 3 or 4 verses, but as a so I'll go briefly. The music I'm trying to do is Christian music, and I put a lot of verses into my songs. Try to just convey the word of God correctly.
Really?
And I thought of this one today. So I'm not gonna do any of the others, but I'll go.
Is this in Revelation 22?
It is in Revelation.
That is insane.
As God is my witness, and this is crazy. Some of the last stuff I studied, my Mama Meeks obituary was in Revelation
Nice.
What chapter?
22.
22, and we're gonna go verse 13, because that's just as the first one, I feel like
Crazy.
this is just sums up God as a whole. So it says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. So anything that is, was, or will be is God, created by God, for God, through God. So, how's this verse grabbing?
You know, we actually talked about this last night.
Yeah.
Revival at Alder Springs Baptist Church. You know, I hate it. I really banked on it ending last night, but it happened to go into the night, so I didn't go. You know, that's on me. But you turn over to Matthew, and I done talked about this a little bit. You know, the first part of Matthew is talking about the lineage of David, and I'll just read it. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. And then you go to the end of that chapter, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So hitting on Zach, you know, beginning and end, no man come before me. It starts, the lineage of David starts with Jesus, and it ends with Jesus. So that, I don't know if that adds anything. That's just a better way to look at it.
It's a good point, Tad.
It's a more simplistic way to look at it. You got anything, Michael?
I don't have a lot. I just reading that verse again, the Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. It's just crazy to think that everything we know, everything we've ever known or ever will know, started with God, and one day it will all end with God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's
And putting
so
it
amazing.
putting it lightly, people don't realize, like, God ain't coming back to be peaceful. He's coming back, like, with a legion of armies, flaming sword in hand. He's taking us to heaven and freeing us from all the sin that we that hold us back, the chains He's gonna break. And I love that thought. Brings peace to me.
I like it a lot.
And you know, you hear preachers say, you know, the ending is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've been saying that since the 30s. Probably
Bringing
before
it back
that.
to like the Middle Ages.
Right. And you know, you see on TikTok all these videos of, oh, this prophecy has been, you know, proved true.
Mm-hmm.
Every prophecy has been proved true so far except for one, and that's God coming back.
Yeah. And I think it was, September. Somebody on Instagram was saying that it's like the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
People were like selling their cars, quitting their jobs, selling their houses. And then like the day after, I think it was September 21st.
That's when I thought the resurrection.
Yeah,
Or
the rapture.
The rapture, yeah.
And like people were getting mad that God didn't come back, and they literally just sold everything. Even though it says you can look anywhere, but you look in the Bible, it says no one will know. Not any angel in heaven knows.
Right. Only God.
Nobody knows.
So we're on 5 battery life, so we'll wrap it up real quick. But you know, I want to warn you. You better get right. Don't put it off, because people been putting it off over and over again throughout the years. You know, and if you may be out there dealing with conviction, I mean, you literally never know when, just like that, it could all be over.
So I believe it says that within the twinkling of an
Within
eye.
the twinkling of an
Thief in the
eye.
night.
Like a thief in the night. So yeah, I hate we don't have more battery life, but this was episode 1 of the 37807 podcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Zach.
I'm Michael.
Have a good day.